Hello, yes, it's me again. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome me back to my channel, because one thing I've learned is that consistency is not my thing, at least not when it comes to things that I have to do on my own that does not provide me money or self-sustainment. And right now, this is just fun. I would like to get paid one day, but like right now, this is just for fun and kicks. So just bear with me. Hopefully one day I'll get consistent, but like I say, I am consistently inconsistent, and that is the only consistent thing about me. So keep that in mind when you subscribe. Today we're going to do Reddit stories from r/Bridezillas. And by Reddit stories, I mean just one really long Reddit story. And we're gonna explore this together because I just found this and it sounded very interesting. And there's like 3 parts, so it's a doozy. Coworker asked me to be her man of honor. I said no, and she went nuts. What did I miss? This happened yesterday, and I'm still confused. Yesterday was my first day back at work after 2. Okay, let's get started. Bear with me, y'all, because I am not the best reader, which is very ironic because I am an actor. But sometimes people don't be writing correctly when they're telling you stories, so my brain tries to correct it. But, you know, just bear with me, okay? This is like my 3rd time doing this. I'm just gonna power through at this point. A worker asked me to be her man of honor. I said no, and she went nuts. What did I miss? This happened yesterday, and I'm still confused. Yesterday was my first day back to work after being off for 2 weeks. This is kind of important. One of my coworkers had gotten engaged the week before I left. When she announced at work, we all did the congratulations and happy for her type of things. I thought it was over. So when I left for vacation, the last I knew, no plans had yet been made. Then yesterday, when I went back to work, my boss Kay and my best friend Elle said coworker C was looking for me. I asked what was up, and they weren't sure, but she was carrying a little gift bag. A few minutes later, C found me and asked how my vacation was. I was telling them about it, and she cut me off and said she had a very important question to ask. She handed me a little gift bag and asked if I would be her best man of honor for her wedding. I thanked her and told her typically this would traditionally go to the closest female relationship. She responded that there is nothing traditional about her wedding, so it was good. I looked over at Elle and Kay, who were both trying to keep from laughing. Again, I thanked her and congratulated her and told her that I wasn't interested in being a part of her wedding party and that I would be happier being a guest in the audience. I swear, when I said this, it was when we watched her entire demeanor change and a switch flipped. She went off saying that I have to be in her wedding and that she doesn't understand why I would say no. I told her we only knew each other for a short time and I had no interest in trying to plan parties, dinners, and shopping trips. She told me I need to think about it and she would get back to me later. I told her go for it, but my answer will still be the same. She walked away and I looked at Kay and Elle and asked what the ever-loving, fresh, creepy hell was that? Kay started laughing and said she didn't know, but saying no like I did might have saved me a lot of headaches in the future. What kind of sense is that? Elle made the comment. She went straight to Bridezilla, and this was a look into what she's gonna be like. Okay, okay, some of it is just me. Like I told y'all, I'm not a great speaker when it comes to my own words or reading. But like, you know, you have to remember, these people are not book writers, they're not authors, so there's gonna be typos, there's gonna be mistakes, and sometimes they're writing like they're speaking, and it makes sense if someone is saying it to you, but reading it, your brain kind of goes like, ugh, or at least that's how my brain is. Anyway, C came back today. However, she went with a different approach and handed me a list of what she wants me to do and her vision of how she sees things. I asked her why she gave me this, and she said that as her man of honor, these were my responsibilities. I told her again that I was not going to do any of this. She started again that she needs me to do this and how much fun it was gonna be. Then she asked, haven't you wanted to be a part of something special? I told her I was. I was a nurse. Entered Kay, who could sense that I needed help, and told C one of her patients needed her help. I told Kay that if this keeps up, I might need her help. She said she was already watching it and would intervene if needed. What did I miss? We weren't that close. She transferred down to my unit from a different unit, 6 months ago. I had no idea who she was until that point. Elle is saying that she is close in age to me and she feels that to be enough of a connection. Did I miss something? When we asked, are we supposed to automatically gush and jump up and down in excitement? Why is saying no a bad thing? Okay, so it sounds like OP is dealing with someone who's not gonna take no for an answer. And probably this person sees them closer to they have a closer relationship than they actually have. Because, you know, some people get attached to people really easily. And in her mind, she probably does have a really close relationship with OP. But OP probably only sees her as a work acquaintance or maybe even a friend or at least an associate at the minimum. But nothing too deep. Like he doesn't see himself as someone who would be asked to be a man of honor or even in the bridal party. It sounds like he doesn't really know her that well and that their friendship is probably only work level. Like they're friends at work, they might go out for a drink after work, but they're not really like buddies or anything like that. Like they're not hanging out on weekends and stuff. And so I think that she might have overestimated their friendship, and now she's coming to a reckoning that he is not really that close to her as she is to him. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying no, man. Or from the way it sounds like in the story, it sounds like the writer OP is a dude. Yeah, it sounds like OP is a dude. Yeah, but because man of honor and all. But so I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, it's not your fault, man. She asked, you said no, and she wouldn't take no as an answer. So you keep reiterating that your stance is still no. You would like to go to the wedding, but you don't want to be in the wedding. And it's kind of interesting that she wants you to stand up for her when it sounds like y'all don't really know each other that well. But then again, in her mind, you probably know each other better than what. In her mind, she thinks that y'all are besties. Well, in reality, it's more or less work associates. Yeah, but what does other people think? Ooh, here's one. Also, from your post history, I assume, correct me if I'm wrong, you're a gay man. Could she be putting a lot of weird stereotypes in the play and trying to make you her gay best friend and wedding planner? And then a couple other people are just like, oh, that makes sense. Maybe she just wants you to be the gay best friend. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh wow, I think this is just a lot of people saying she wants him to be her gay best friend. Oh, she's trying to have it be a gay bestie. So it just sounds like maybe she wants you in the wedding for inclusion. At least that's what the people in the comments believe, that's what the bride wants. When in reality it could be something else, or maybe she thought she was genuinely your friend. But honestly, the way she's trying to push your relationship as anything more than what it is kind of concerning. So I would say watch out, OP. But, you know, there's only so much you can do. Okay, let's move on to the update. Update. Coworker asked me to be her man of honor. I said no. She went nuts. What did I miss? Hey everyone. First, I apologize. I never thought this was going to go as crazy as it did. I want all of you to know I read all of your responses and responded to as many as I was able to. I didn't see that, but that's probably because I got lazy and didn't scroll down any further to see if he responded to anything. So that's on me. Thank you for all the amazing insights and comments. Many made me laugh, which is what I needed. I have been sick and that really helped me to cheer up. I had to meet with my lawyer today regarding family issues. My neighbor / best friend / coworker, Elle, took me. I felt awful and driving wasn't a good idea. We were talking about this on the way and we were both asking a lot of the same questions that you all were asking. The big one was that we were asking about the circumstances of her transfer. She went from a med-surg 4W to ER. That is a huge change. I have to work tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. But Elle and I are going to ask Kay about the transfer and a couple of other concerns. After I got home from my meeting with my lawyer, I slept for the rest of the day. Many of you asked about if C and I hang out outside of work. The answer is no. Oh wow, so y'all don't even hang out outside of work and she wants you to be her man of honor? Yeah, that's a little sus. I don't really know anything about her. I have helped her a few times with patients and different things, but our relationship is 100% purely work related. Oh no. That is why I was so surprised when she asked me to do this. That is why I was so surprised when she asked me about being the man of honor. I have a very low friend base, and in all honesty, Jesus words, I like to keep it that way. I have no interest in being a part of this. I am not a wedding person. After reading so many Bridezilla stories and hearing about over-the-top weddings, and they have become a huge turn-off to me, spending tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars with insane, unrealistic demands that turn people against each other. Why? I would rather use that money and spend that time planning my next trip or vacation. Many people say that I was used as a token or a prop in the wedding or a gay best friend, and I never really thought about it. I admit I'm out and proud, but I'm not going to just pretend to be someone's friend just so they can fulfill some kind of fetish they have for wanting to have a gay best friend, or some kind of status she feels the need to fulfill. It takes me a lot to get offended, but if this were actually the case, then I would really rather be offended. I was not put on the face of the earth to be someone's play toy. You go. You tell them. Don't be a token. Trust me, as someone who's been a token most of her life, it's not fun. Yeah. Good for you for saying that for yourself, OP. A lot of people have said that maybe she doesn't have a boyfriend. She does. She has brought him in before. If she has any insecurity, I don't understand it. She's attractive, smart, and knows her stuff. So I'm at a loss as to why she's acting like this. Wait, some people were thinking that she was faking this? Wait, that's why you can't be putting all your business out on Reddit, because people are just gonna start theorizing oh, it's fake all the time. Now there are some times where people actually are lying and they are faking being in relationships, but that's the minority, not the majority. She probably does have someone who likes her crazy. Let's be honest, there's always someone out there that likes your crazy. They might actually prefer your crazy. Not saying that you need to be toxic crazy, but everybody's a little crazy. Just a little crazy. And that's okay. I think that adds a little spice. Not crazy. Not to the point where you can't feel comfortable being around this person and feel like you have to walk on eggshells, but it's just you're a little wild. Or you're a little, you're a little unexpected, a little surprising. Everybody likes a little surprise, a little flavor, a little crazy has a little flavor, because everybody's a little crazy. And I'm sorry if I'm using the wrong terminology, because I know that the term crazy is not seen as the best thing to say about people anymore. But I'm not saying crazy as a negative. I'm saying crazy as there's always that little zip to everybody. Does that make sense? There's a little zip. A zang, a twang, if you will. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, let me get back. Lots of people say go to HR. I'm starting the process with my boss, Kay. She is completely aware of the situation being with us when all this happened. She told me that she's watching the situation and will jump in if I need her to. I trust her completely. While Kay and HR can control the situation in the hospital, they cannot control the situation from a personal level. If she were to maybe follow me home or a situation like that. So I think that covers it all. I wish to say this is over, but most likely there's more to come. Update me. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing on Reddit. That's crazy. Yeah, it's weird. This situation's a little weird, because it sounds like you've confirmed that you two are not close, and for her to ask you to be her best man or her man of honor, it means that you're supposed to be fulfilling something. Maybe she's been talking about you to her boyfriend, her fiance and her friends, being hey, I have this amazing guy friend, he's had my back the entire time. Of course, he's a part of the LGBTQ, so you have nothing to worry about, but he is my lifesaver, my ride or die, and he's gonna be my best and my man of honor. Imagine she told that story to a bunch of people, and now she actually has to come, and now she has to actually walk the walk after she talked the talk. So now she's trying to cover her butt. Let's see what some commenters said. I hope you can figure out what she thinks she's trying to do and escape the situation unscathed. From what you said, she acted this. From the way you said she acted. Wow, I can't read. This may be a thing where one of you has to leave the department you work for. I hope it doesn't come to that. I do not blame you for not wanting to be around people in their wedding BS. I feel the same way. And it seems like America, at least, people are getting worse and worse. Best of luck to you. Jeez. I cannot wait to see your next update. Ugh. Words. I'm not trying to be funny, by the way. This is not me being quirky. This is just me being bad at reading. I'm an actor. Like, it's different though, cause like I can memorize the words. This is why I don't like cold reading. Cold reading is my kryptonite, cause like I get tripped over my words and I can't say things right and all that stuff. But let me get back to the story. So it all, from the way it looks like, it just, everybody's kind of like weirded out. Everybody's like, oh, click update me too. Like, it's either, yeah, you gotta figure out where she be transferred. She sounds a little unhinged. Update me. Yeah, something's really weird. Yeah, there's something that drove it, good or bad. And I'm not thinking optimistically about her, especially with the volatile mood change. Yeah, OP, I just think, good thing that the boss and HR are kind of already on OP's side, because CRA has shown that she is not taking no for an answer and not respecting his space and his boundaries. So if they have to get HR involved, they kind of are aware of the story. So OP sounds like he is not going to be like a he said she said situation. It's more or less, hey, here's what's happening because we saw it with our own eyes and you need to stop or you're gonna have to get transferred again. But now I'm really intrigued of why she got transferred in the first place. And there is another update. I'm not gonna cut this time because I'm just gonna keep it fluid, gonna keep it going. Update. I keep forgetting to thank my boyfriend. He has been with me on this, but more in the background. First when we were laughing about it, but when everything Thursday happened, he was there as well. Elle was able to get him away from his unit for a little bit for the it will be okay boyfriend hug. I'm sorry, I completely zoned out. By the way, that's so cute. You two work together. That's so cute. I would like to work with if I had a boyfriend, I would like to work with them so then we could like have it's gonna be okay hugs at work. But I'm saying I don't have a job that would allow me to do that. Anyway, he stayed the night with me a couple nights as well, although also helping me with being sick. I can't read. So yeah, I am very lucky to have such a great support. This intro is going to be long, but I'm telling you about this for a reason, and later in this update, it will make sense. I'm hoping this will be done and that this will be the last of this whole situation. I was born into a family where I was referred to as an issue that needs to be dealt with. Oh no. I lived in the shadows of my sister who was the parent I lived in the shadows of my sister who was the child my parents wanted. Be happy with the children you have. Stop acting like children are property. They are people who deserve love and nurturing and didn't ask to be here. They wanted one child, which was a girl. That way, dad has his daddy's girl and mommy had mommy's little princess. He said mom. I jumped the gun there. He said mom had mommy's little princess. He doesn't call his mom mommy. Then I came along. Keep in mind that I'm 23, so back then my parents had options, but chose not to use any of those options. So instead my parents raised my sister and I was raised by a nanny, who to this day is one of the biggest influences in my life, and I'm so grateful to her. Well, I'm glad you had somebody, even if she was paid to be there. I doubt she was faking her care for you. Instead of having mother and Sundance, have a nanny in Sundance, cause like it sounds like she cared about you way more than your parents did. I'm sad that people have parents like this, but I will say, okay. She helped me with so much. I finally realized that all these years later, that being referred to as an issue that need to be dealt with, that they stripped me of my humanity, individuality, and self-worth as a person. Wait, did they really call him that? That's insane if they did. That's insane. I think that's why I worked so hard to establish myself in my career and in my life as a way to become a person again and not to just be that issue that needed to be dealt with. Oh wow, this adds layers because if C is trying to use him as a prop after his whole backstory, I can see why he would have a lot of issue to it, because if I was just being used as a token, I would laugh it off and say no. Like, I'll be like, haha, no, okay, leave me alone. But this is actually deeper than this for him, because it's just like his parents didn't really see him as a person and more or less just something to keep alive. Like, it's just like, you know how like your parents give you one of those like babies to practice with and say, hey, this is what's gonna be like if you have a baby while you're a teenager and it's not gonna be fun and you have to stay up with it all night. It just sounds like it was like an obligation that they needed to fulfill. And like, it's interesting because it's not like he went hungry at night or anything like that, but he was starved of parental love. And I'm just like, that's horrible, because like no child should be starved physically or emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Like, they deserve to be nourished because they didn't ask to be here. Okay, no human being in the world was been like, oh yeah, you want to be a person, you want to be born. No, you don't get that option. You just be born. Like, they just poop you out and then now you have to be a person. Like, it's just like, so to act like it was his fault for being alive and that, oh, now I have to take care of him, that's insane. If you don't want kids, keep your legs crossed and keep it in your pants. But like, that's how it is. Like, if they didn't want another kid, they should have done the precautions to stop having kids, but they didn't. So they ended up with another kid, meaning you need to take care of that kid. You need to love your kid. That's kind of insane to me that people can get that closed off. Let me get back on track. This past Thursday, things came to a head with Bridezilla, known as C, and the truth came out. My best friend L has been sticking close to me when we work if C was to start something. We weren't sure if she was going to leave it alone or start it up again. I was really hoping that was done, but she had to try once again. I have been sick, and I have been busy. I have been sick and I had a busy morning. So I really just wanted a few minutes to go to the bathroom, grab a quick snack, and maybe breathe. C came up and had her list and asked if I had a few minutes to talk about the wedding planning. I looked at her and told her no, that I was not interested in being a part of her wedding, and that I was not going to help in any way, and that she needed to drop the subject and leave me alone. Words. I know I can read. I graduated college. I can read. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't read, I promise. I was not interested in being a part of her wedding, and I was not going to help in any way, and she needed to drop the subject and leave me alone. Again, she went into the who thing of, I was going to do this. Hold on, let me reread that sentence again, because that didn't make sense in my mind. Again, she went into the who thing of how I was going to do this and how much fun it was going to be. Okay, that sounds a little better. Here we go with that line. All of you love the first time. Why in the ever-loving, fresh, creepy hell is it so important for me to be your man of honor? I'm not interested and I'm not doing it. It is exactly as pretty much of all of you told me it would be. She was just planning on using me as a token or a play toy. She took all the messed up gay stereotypes that are out of society and put them into one sentence. What liberal woman... Wait, hold on. I need to read this so I can say this properly, because y'all need to hear this line delivered properly. What modern liberal woman isn't going to have a gay bestie on her arm for her special event? Girl, get some help. Therapy. That's crazy work. I felt everything in my stomach move and a wave of nausea coming over me. And I felt like I couldn't get to the bathroom fast enough. This pissed off Elle to no end. Elle is kinda like the overprotective sister I wish I would have had, and took C off to see her boss, K, and laid it all out. Everything that was said, while I wasn't in on that conversation, Elle and K filled me in on what was said. K came to check on me, and I was still hiding in the bathroom. She knocked on the door and asked if she could come in. I asked her for a bottle of water first. When I was waiting, I realized two things. I realized why I chose not to hang out with her and why I didn't like her. I couldn't figure out why I didn't like her, just that there was something that gave me the heebie-jeebies. You know, human intuition is a very strong thing, because I swear, there's some times where I just don't like people, and I have no reason not to like this person. Like, absolutely no reason at all. They've done nothing to me. They never said anything wrong. They never done anybody wrong. But for some reason, I'm always just feeling a little about them. Like, I'm just like, eh. And then later I find out that they did some trifling stuff, or they did some not crazy stuff, because they did some wild stuff, or some trifling stuff, or some backstabbing stuff, or like, you know, absolutely criminal stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, there's a reason I didn't like you. So it's a good thing you listen to your intuition, OP, because yeah, she does not sound like she's a good person. But I realized I didn't like her because she was a different version of my sister. While she is educated and employed, she doesn't care about other people and their feelings. She is like my sister in the sense that she wants something bad enough, she will figure out how to get it. The second thing I realized was that she did exactly what my parents did to me. Completely dehumanized me. And that's why I mentioned earlier, like, with the backstory, it makes a whole lot of sense why OP is having such a, like, this is such a big thing to OP. Because, like, I mean, to be fair, he did do what everyone else would have done, which was just, you know, let her know that he said no, and then move on. But it's just, like, given the backstory, it is interesting that now you can see, like, how this is actually affecting him, because it's just, like, you know, even though he wasn't close to her or anything, it's still not the best feeling in the world to be used as a prop, because I have been the token black girl in a lot of situations, and people use me to show, hey, we're diverse, and all that stuff. Like, literally to the point when I did some plays, they only cast me in roles that were most likely black coded. Like, these roles can't, like, it's just like, it was like these roles were written with a black person or a person of color in mind, and those were the roles I would get cast in. Yeah, I remember one time they put me in, I did the Schoolhouse Rock, and the director told me, quote unquote, the reason why I didn't get a speaking part was because she wanted to, like, because I would look perfect as an ensemble character and played one of the little school kids on the Schoolhouse Rock. You know, they had like one white kid, one Asian kid, a black kid, and there was one other kid, I think a redhead. Wait, there was 4. White kid, Asian kid. No, I think there might have been a Hispanic kid. But I know there was Asian, black, maybe Hispanic, and I know it was one redhead. And the reason why she didn't give me a part, because she said I did amazing in my audition and that she would have given me a part, was because she wanted it to fit the aesthetic. And I was just like, wow, that's crazy. I still got a speaking role at the end of the show, by the way, because a lot of people dropped out of the play. So they had to bump me up just because. And I felt pretty cool because I got like multiple solos, and it was a win for me. But I mean, as someone who has been the token, it's not a great feeling. I was never dehumanized the way OP was, because like my mom loves and support me, and like she sees me as a person, and OP's parents did not. So this is way worse for OP, definitely. But being seen as a token is horrific and terrible. Instead of being seen as a person, that is. She completely dehumanized me and reduced me to an entity. Just kind of turned me into a token or a thing for her. I used the word that described it as I'm a play toy? Oh, described it is I'm a play toy. That's what they wrote, okay? What really gets me is that just like my sister C, she doesn't think she did anything wrong, and I'm being too sensitive, and I am a delicate snowflake. Bear with me, I told y'all I can't read. The next day, an emergency meeting was held at work, and C is being suspended pending an investigation, and a new transfer is being looked into. K made the request for her to be terminated. The director of emergency nursing said that was the last resort, but she was going to be looked into options, which could be sending her to a new hospital or facility. This didn't go over well with me. I asked what would happen if she did the exact same thing to someone different. She didn't really give me an answer, but she said she still needs to look into a few things, and at this point, she's being suspended. Anyway, here it is. I'm still pretty sick and had to work this weekend. If I can, I will respond, and I want to thank everyone for all the amazing support. I'm going back to my lawyer to see if I can figure out how to send her a cease and desist letter to make sure she doesn't contact me. I'm heading to bed. Have a good night.
Woo!
So y'all were right. The not the OP commenters, but the Reddit commenters were right. She just saw him as a prop, a little plaything, as OP would mention. And also, I just want to say, let me give y'all the iconic line in its full entirety without stopping, because y'all deserve that. Why in the ever-loving fresh creepy hell is it so important to be your man of honor? I'm not interested and I'm not doing it. I love that line so much. I get why that is iconic. Anyway, I'm glad that she's getting suspended, but I'm not crazy about the idea that she could still possibly work somewhere else and probably do this to someone else. But this is an American. It sounds like this is in America, like this is taking place in the United States. We're in a healthcare medical professional crisis right now, so we kind of need everything we can get. That's the same. It's the same principle as when it's just like, oh, why aren't we firing this teacher? It's because we need teachers. We need a lot of teachers. So honestly, unless they do something horrific and that they need to not be around people anymore, they can probably get away with almost anything. Like, it's just like right now we're in a nursing shortage. We're in a doctor shortage. Almost any healthcare professional, we are lacking severely. So I don't think if they can avoid firing her, that is what they're going to do. But she will do this to other people because it sounds like she doesn't value people. She only sees them as what they can do for her, which is very concerning. And I hope her fiance knows what he's getting himself into. Maybe he's one of those people too. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, I say OP should try to push further. The cease and desist is good. But I do say that at the minimum, she needs to be transferred. But the thing is that they can't give a disclaimer everywhere she goes when she's like, hey, she's emotionally, and she's very manipulative and will push your boundaries. I wish they could, but I don't think they will. And at the end of the day, they really do need nurses, so I don't think OP is going to get his true justice, but at least he might get a little peace. But it is sweet that OP is concerned for others, because he's like, I don't want this to happen to anyone else, and I hope it doesn't. But this might be the reason why she was transferred before, so who knows. I'm going to read another comment. I'm glad to hear that your supervisors heard you and are planning to take measures. IMHO. I don't think moving her is enough. What does IMHO mean? Let me know down below what IMHO means. Okay, I may be young, but I'm not really hip to like social media lingo or Reddit lingo. That makes me sound old. She's been moved before, so I doubt this is an isolated incident for treating coworkers poorly. If this is a part of her, if this was the reason why she was transferred before, I promise you she's going to do it again, and eventually she will get fired. I'm sad that that's gonna probably affect some other people in the process, but it's the only way, because again, we are on a healthcare worker shortage and we need everyone we can get, so they're probably not going to fire her unless they absolutely have to. But I'm glad that it sounds like this person's not going to be in your life, and that your boss had your back, because it's very rare in these stories you hear like coworkers being harassed by other coworkers that the boss will have their back. Normally they would get on the victim and be like, hey, it's your fault, or blah 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 blah. But in this story, it sounded like your boss had your back from the get-go. But then again, it sounded like your boss is just this really cool person. And since you and the boss know each other longer than C and the boss, that she probably might be a little bit more like open to hearing all sides. Plus, C did this in front of everybody, so like everyone got to see how she was acting. So it wouldn't have been a stretch, even if the boss didn't believe him. He could have asked any of his nursing coworkers or any of the staff that was on the floor with them to like vouch for him, and they couldn't just ignore it, But that's it. There's no more updates. I'm glad that it sounds like it's mostly resolved for OP. I hope he gets better, because being sick is not fun, especially dealing with crazy while being sick. That's insane. Yeah, but good luck to OP. I hope C learns her lesson. If she doesn't, I hope she just isn't allowed to work in that field anymore. But nursing shortage, so I don't think that's gonna happen. But hopefully she gets transferred somewhere else, so it's someone else's problem. I know that's messed up to say, but there's nothing else to really call it. So that's it. If y'all have any opinions on the story below, or any of your own takes, let me know. Leave a comment. And I'm sorry about my reading. I know it was atrocious. I mean, like, I'm working on it, okay? I don't know how these people who do the Reddit stories can just read perfectly, but I'm not one of those people, okay? So, like, hopefully I get better over time, but next time I'm gonna do smaller stories instead of doing, like, a really, really long one so I don't get tripped up as easily. But thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and let me know if you like this content, because I really like reading Reddit stories and I like watching Reddit story videos. So if y'all like watching Reddit story videos, let me know and I will possibly make some more. Oh, I'm definitely gonna make some more. This is so much fun. Anyway, like and subscribe. It was good seeing y'all. See you next time.